Jefferson County Code at Law number 2 is now in section 322493. Case is style of state of Texas versus Ricky Robert Turner. Ricky Turner was scheduled to be in court at 1:30 p.m. on today's date of September 13th of 2022. Ricky Turner previously called the court, informing the court that he did not have a ride. That was about Mr. Rojas, what time was that?
That was probably about 1:20.
About 1:20. And Mr. Turner, attorney Charles Rojas is here. He did talk to Mr. Turner. Mr. Turner was informed that the court was going to give him until 1:45 to be in court. The time now is 1:49 p.m. on today's date. The bailiff just called the name again, Ricky Turner, at about 1:48. Ricky Turner did not answer. A reasonable time has passed to give Mr. Turner opportunity to appear in court. He has not appeared in court, and the state moved for a bond forfeiture. Is that correct?
That's correct, yes.
And the court is going to grant that motion. Ricky Turner's bond will be forfeited, and a warrant shall be issued for his arrest in cause number 322493.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Swallow.
Okay. Court is in session in cause number 328-018, case of style of state of Texas versus Stephen Russell. Mr. Russell, would you please come forward? Is your full name Stephen Russell?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Russell, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Russell, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth so help you God? Mr. Russell, you may put your hand down. How are you doing, Mr. Russell? You doing well? Mr. Russell, you're here with your attorney, Attorney Dustin Galmore. Attorney Galmore, how are you doing?
Great, Judge. How you doing?
I'm doing fine. Mr. Galmore, well, I was gonna ask you. State is represented by Attorney Luke Nichols. Attorney Nichols, how are you doing?
Excellent, sir. Thank you.
That's good. Mr. Russell, I have before me a document that is titled Information. This information was filed by the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office. This information alleges that on or about September 19th of 2020, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed the Class B misdemeanor offense of communication harassment. Mr. Russell, do you understand what you've been charged with?
Yes, sir.
And to this charge, Mr. Russell, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest? And are you pleading no contest freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
And are you pleading no contest because you do not wish to fight or contest the charges?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Russell, I also have before me a document that is titled Misdemeanor Plea Admonishment, also labeled as State's Exhibit Number 1. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
On page 2 of the same document, Mr. Russell, there are a set of initials on a line next to a box that's checked nola contendere. Did you place your initials on this document? On page 3 of the same document, there's a signature above the line that is titled Defendant. Is this your signature? And on the next document, which is titled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Right of Appeal, do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendant?
Yes, sir.
There are two boxes that are checked at the top of this document. The first box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that? The second box states that you are waiving your right to an appeal, which means you're giving up your right to an appeal. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
You had that discovery certification. That's the thing. Mr. Russell, I also have before me a document that is titled Discovery Certification. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendant?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Russell, before you signed and initialed all of these documents that I've just mentioned to you, did your attorney, Mr. Galmore, go over these documents with you?
Yes, sir.
And did you read and understand everything in these documents?
Yes, sir.
And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Sure.
Mr. Russell, are you a citizen of the United States? State, I have before me State Exhibit Number 1, the misdemeanor plea admonishment, and Stage 2, probable cause affidavit that's in the court's file. State, you like to offer States 1 and 2?
Yes, Your Honor.
Any objections?
No objection.
No objection. States Exhibits 1 and 2 are admitted. Mr. Galmore, you have advised in counsel, Mr. Russell, is there any evidence that he is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial? Mr. Russell, your attorney, Mr. Galmore, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Absolutely, Your Honor.
Has he provided fully effective and competent legal representation?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Russell, I will accept your plea of no contest. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. And I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
We do, Your Honor.
And what is that agreement?
It's for 2 years deferred adjudication, $500 fine, and he is to continue wearing the GPS monitor and have no contact whatsoever with the complainant in this case.
And the complainant is Charlotte Prince. Mr. Russell, the state is offering that you serve 2 years deferred adjudicated probation. During the 2-year probationary period, you'll be required to pay a fine of $500 plus court costs of $352, which comes to a total of $852. You will also be required to pay a probation fee of $60 each month, a urinalysis fee of $15 each month, and your total monthly installments, that is the total amount that you will be required to pay each month, is $115 each month. Will you be able to pay the $115?
Sure.
And the state is waiving any community service, is that correct?
Oh, it just was unagreed. I forgot if the court wanted us to determine that amount or if it was.
Y'all can agree to amount, I mean.
Whatever standard for the court is what I would suggest, Your Honor.
Well, I don't have a standard, but let's see.
He works, so I think 20 hours would be sufficient.
No objection.
Well, you want 20 hours of community service?
If
Okay,
that's with the court.
so Mr. Russell, you also be required to perform 20 hours of community service. And you'll be required to install, well, you still have a GPS.
He actually does not.
He doesn't?
It was removed months and months ago.
Okay.
But he knows what he's got to do to get it put back on.
Okay, so you need to get a GPS device placed on you. You cannot have any contact with the victim in this case, which is Charlotte Prince. And I see here the state, you're dismissing calls number.
I don't know off the top of my head.
It's
Yes,
in
Your
here,
Honor.
they got 20-35666.
That is correct, Your Honor.
Okay. And Mr. Russell, you also be required to adhere to the other standard terms and conditions of this probation. Mr. Russell, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes, Your Honor.
And do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just?
Yes, Your Honor.
And do you accept the state's offer? Okay, Mr. Russell, I'll follow the plea bargain agreement that you have entered into with the state. Now, Mr. Russell, if you successfully complete this probationary period, this case will be dismissed, but not appear on your record as a conviction, and you may qualify for non-disclosure. And you can talk to your attorney, Mr. Galmore, about the non-disclosure because he's quite competent on those matters. Now, Mr. Russell, you're gonna stand on the X next to your attorney, follow the directions of our clerk. And once you finish following her directions, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
And Mr. Nichols, you'll be free to go as well. You have a blessed day.
And I'll be free to go too.
No, you have a trial.
You guys, thank you. Always good to see you.
All right,
Thank you.
all right.